Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Dad's Destined for Greatness. I'm your host, Ian Brown. Somebody the other day asked me why my podcast specifically for dads, and they also wondered how that fits into me being a financial coach. And so this is what how I broke it down. I told them, as far as dads go, I think dads are a block of foundation for society. It is known that kids without dads, or have a lot more behavior issues than kids that do have dads. And when I say dads, this is taken in the automatic assumption that you are an involved dad, which if you're not an involved dad, then yeah, I would encourage you to be more involved. We can all be more involved, but if you're not involved in just your kids' day to day normal things, you're not showing up to their sport games, etc. We got to figure a way to change that, and that's where the financial coaching comes in. But get to that real quick in a minute. Um, but yeah, it's known that boys that grow up without father figures end up being more angry. They're more prone to violence. They have less emotional regulation. Women that don't have their fathers, uh, little girls that don't have their fathers, are more likely to have struggle with confidence, struggling with self-image, and also they will tend to be more promiscuous, because for boys, you need a man in your life, someone to believe in you, to tell you that you're strong, tell you that you can do everything. Be a great example for you to lead. Pick you up when you fall. And then for women, you want they need their fathers to one show them how a man's supposed to treat them. Because that's another thing. If a man doesn't show their daughters how a man is truly supposed to treat them with dignity and respect, then they will accept less. And also, the reason why they end up being more promiscuous is because they're looking for love and affection that they didn't get. And when you're, of course, affectionate with another guy as a gal, it's going to lead into other things. And so, also, I get back to my biblical foundation that, God has called men to lead our households. And one of the ways that we should be leading our households is financially. Now, I know it's fine that if you are in a situation where your spouse or significant other makes more than you, but your goal would be to be making more than them, or at minimum, have an active leadership role in how the revenue that's brought into your house is spent, and making sure that the way you're spending money aligns with your family's goals, morals, and values. Um, Now, when it comes to like finances and how that ties into fatherhood, um, you know, kids in general that don't have fathers, do a lot of comparing themselves to others, which means they end up being the folks that are eternally trying to keep up with the Jones. They're more easily, like I say, yeah, they're more easily kind of easily persuaded than others. And when it comes to finances, fathers, we're expected to teach our family finances, and we should be teaching our kids finances. That could be something simple starting off, like starting off with just telling your kids the difference between a checking account and a savings account, and showing them how to open an account, and then showing them how to put money in it, and showing them how to withdraw. That's just something simple you could do. Give your kids some chores to do for allowance. Pay them on time, and help them put their money into the savings account. Things like that. That could build up some good financial practices. And then as we get further down the line, then we can talk about how savings unless it's a high yield savings, aren't the best bang for your buck, that you should start investing. And we show them how to invest, and we show them that 401ks are not the best approach, that if they take that approach, they will make a good bit of money, but they'll be leaving about 40% of their money on the table because their profits will be choked by fees from the company that is orchestrating the 401k. So your actual company, and then the actual company that is hosting the 401k, whether that be Fidelity, Schwab, etc. So that's why I'm a big proponent of fathers and fathers leading. And I also chose to be a financial coach, when I got my coaching certification, because finances has been an important thing to me. It's something that I was never taught. And when people did give me good advice, because I had been used to no one talking to me about finances, I just nodded my head and do anything about it. And I regret that. Now, I'm in a really good place now, but I could have been here sooner had I listened earlier. And I also want to prevent you guys from making that same mistakes. And so a lot of people that I want to talk to in this podcast is going to be those young adults, young men that are, 18, 19, 20, that, have a job or don't have a job, whatever the case is, and help you create some great money practices. So that is why I decided to narrow down my niche to fathers or dads, men, because I know there are men out there that aren't fathers that want to be fathers. They will be fathers one day. And so it's important to also talk with them. So this podcast is geared towards fathers, boys, men, young adults. If you're someone listening to this podcast and you don't have a father, I'm more than happy to take you under my wing, because I know I'm only here today and was saved by a lot of men that did that for me. Um, my dad, he was there, and I understand he was working really hard, but because he was working hard so much, when he got home, he just didn't have a lot of time and capacity for me. So, and then also, it's called Destined for Greatness, because I believe we're all destined for greatness. We're all destined to make huge change in the world, to have financial freedom, have financial vitality, to leave an inheritance for our family, for our kids, to make sure that if we die, that our family is taken care of. And that's why I chose to make my podcast about men and finances. Once again, I'm your host, Ian Brown, financial coach. I'll be posting some future financial tips and things of that nature in my blog. You can check me out at the transformative traveler dot at blogspot. Um, I'll put the link in the description. Feel free to go there. I also do a lot of traveling with my job, so I have a lot of input on itineraries and things to do if you tend to travel a lot of places. I tend to travel with my job. And then, yeah, you'll see some other links on my page that connect to my other YouTube channels where I do worship, do some that work on leadership, which this one's attached to that one. And then I'll be doing one that's strictly going to be for financial advice and tips and things you can do to improve your finances on other channels. So it's been a pleasure. Happy New Year, and see y'all in the next one.